Before this week's review, let me introduce you to Bluff Springs Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. As far as I can find, they were distilled by Heaven's Hill Distillery. They were incorporated on the 16th of January in 2015, but posted an article of dissolution on the 7th of April in 2016. With this being a straight bourbon, I will assume that they were a sole proprietorship for at least a year before incorporation. Who is in charge of the brand now is beyond me, but they have zero social media presence, no website, and Heaven's Hill doesn't even recognize them on their website. Although all of this together doesn't look good, we have been surprised before. So, give me 3 fingers of milk, Ma.
Give me 3 fingers of milk, Ma.
All right, hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Nerds Drink Whiskey. This week's bourbon is a little strange. As I said in the pre-intro, I couldn't really find a whole heck of a lot on it. Looks like that side it's going to be washed out. So let's see if we can do it on this side if it picks it up a little better. But this is Bluff Springs.
Balkans never bluff.
If I back it up, maybe it picks it up. I don't know. But anyways, Bluff Springs says Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. And it's kind of one of those ghost brands or whatever we want to call it. It's I can find no information for it online whatsoever. And as I said in the pre-intro, it looked like Heaven's Hill was the distiller, at least for a time. There's just not a lot of information about it, but I'm finishing up the bottle here. I got my nice little Nerds Drink Whiskey glass, and I don't know, I'm going to give it a sip, so Dark Helmet, do your thing.
Ludicrous speed!
I gotta say, I think this could have been possibly a decent whiskey, but the problem with it is I think the mouthfeel was definitely affected by it's because it's got a really great initial taste. When it first hits the tongue, it's got that nice kind of a creamy feel to it. But the mouthfeel just turns really bad really quick, and it makes the finish just slightly turpentine-ish. Which means they didn't cut the heads and tails off very well. And there's some elements in there that probably shouldn't have been.
Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
So somebody along the line didn't really go to whiskey school, didn't really learn how to do things properly. And you end up with a whiskey that had, it seems like a good mash bill. It seems like maybe even aged pretty decently, but just not. Like I said, I think just the heads and the tails got cut off. They got cut. The heads and tails got cut improperly. You know, not by somebody that didn't really know what they were doing. And
Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
it's just got kind of a turpentine-y, just not very pleasant finish. It's drinkable, as you've seen. I've finished the bottle, but I give a very passionate, very confident, not recommend. Do not buy Bluff Springs. I forgot to look up how much it cost, but I wouldn't even buy it if it was like a $10 or $20 bourbon. I'd rather pay just a little bit more and get something good. So, anyways, Bluff Springs, it's just not that great at all. Totally do not recommend. But I'm still going to finish the whiskey because otherwise that's a party foul. Coming up in a few weeks, we will be getting the whole gang back together again.
We're putting the band back together.
So, yep, we're putting the band back together again, and but I am going to do solo for a couple weeks, so who knows what I'll have next week. But yeah, see you next week with another episode of Nerds Drink Whiskey.